Hi, my name is Sophia Rooney, and I'm excited to share my research exploring cavity risk among a unique population, varsity college athletes. College students and professional athletes both face distinct oral health challenges, but what about the group that falls right in between, varsity college athletes? Previous research has shown that college students often skip routine dental visits and struggle to maintain oral hygiene due to packed schedules. Meanwhile, professional athletes, despite having disciplined oral hygiene care, have diets high in sugar and carbohydrates to meet energy needs, putting them at a risk for cavities. According to the NCAA's 2019 goal study, varsity athletes spend over 80 hours a week juggling academics, athletics, and social time. That doesn't leave much time for self-care, especially oral care. This study aimed to assess the cavity risk of varsity athletes at the collegiate level using a modified version of the Caries Management by Risk Assessment model, also known as Cambra. We focused on their diet, oral hygiene routines, and dental visit patterns. Cambra is a widely used tool that balances disease indicators and risk factors against protective factors to assess caries risk. But to make it athlete-specific and comprehensible to survey, we had to make a few changes. We adapted Cambra questions, as seen here, to be clearer and more relatable to athletes using familiar terms and relevant examples. The survey was tailored so that athletes could understand dental vocabulary on their own terms, making it more comprehensible and minimizing confusion. It included questions focused on behaviors that had a profound effect on overall caries risk, specifically frequent snacking, a history of caries, and xerostomia related to physical training and dehydration. This cross-sectional survey study was approved as exempt by the Institutional Review Board and aimed to assess caries risk among varsity collegiate athletes. Participants were recruited through athletic staff, including coaches, managers, and athletic trainers, and completed an online survey administered via Qualtrics. The survey included multiple choice, select all that apply, and Likert scale questions, organized into 4 sections: demographics, and the 3 Cambra categories: protective factors, risk factors, and disease indicators. Before the study distribution, the survey was pilot tested with 8 athletes who did not meet the inclusion criteria to ensure clarity and functionality. Participants who completed the survey received an oral hygiene promotion bag containing a toothbrush, toothpaste, and resources to use for more information regarding oral hygiene. Collected data was analyzed using descriptive statistics and multivariate analysis to explore patterns and associations related to caries risk. Our response rate was 25%. The athletes represented a diverse range of teams, including 24 out of the 26 teams. Here's how Cambra scores were calculated. Responses about protective, risk, and disease indicators were weighted and summed to determine each athlete's overall caries risk. Here is a table representing just one of the sections from the modified Cambra survey results. This is the protective factor section. Good news! Most athletes followed basic oral hygiene. 88% reported brushing twice daily and 90% reported drinking fluoridated water. But fewer used advanced preventative measures. Only 6% used prescription toothpaste and 15% used daily fluoride mouth rinse. Risk factors told a different story. 69% reported snacking on carbohydrates over 3 times a day, and 53% reported wearing orthodontic appliances. These factors raised their Cambra scores significantly. We also looked at self-reported disease indicators. 33% had received restorations within the past 3 years. These signs suggest active or recent caries activity. Survey question answers. Question 1. Do you feel confident in understanding how your diet and routine can affect your dental health?
Honestly, not really. I feel like I was never really taught about that sort of thing. I know how your dental health can impact your heart health, but haven't really thought about how your diet plays a role in it.
Aside from what I was taught as a young child, I don't think I've been very educated about how my routine and diet could affect my dental health. I really only know things like coffee, soda, and candy are bad for my teeth.
Question 2. Do you think athletics determines when you snack, eat, or drink?
100%. I had to learn how to balance eating enough food throughout the day to be fueled for practice, while also being mindful of when and what I was eating so I wouldn't feel sick during workouts.
Question 3. Explain how you feel your athletics affect your diet.
It affects my diet greatly. Everything I put into my body is intentional. How I fuel myself is my number one priority when it comes to my sport.
My athletics made me conscious about what I was eating and the nutritional contents in the things I ate. I also must eat a lot more food to fuel myself during the more intense parts of our season.
Question 4. How easy do you find it to obtain snacks and sports drinks in your athletic facilities?
We always had access to all kinds of snacks and meals. That includes Gatorade like 24/7.
So what did we find? On average, varsity college athletes in this sample fell into the moderate risk category for caries. Despite good hygiene habits, their high snacking frequency, dry mouth, and history of caries raised their risk. Key takeaways from this study include that we found athletes meet the ADA oral hygiene standards. However, the risk factors that had the most profound effect on increasing caries risk score was frequent snacking and dry mouth. Overall, caries risk was found to be moderate. Future research could expand to include athletes from multiple institutions, compare risk levels across different NCAA divisions, and include clinical examinations for greater accuracy. We also recommend evaluating athlete-specific oral health interventions, such as nutritional counseling and oral hygiene-specific education for athletes. Thank you for the opportunity to share my research. I hope it contributes to a broader understanding of how lifestyle factors affect the oral health of varsity athletes and inspires innovation in how we can better care for this population.